Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of House Bill 1437, a bill that just passed the Senate with a bipartisan vote of 33 votes. And I'd like to tell you that this is a responsible budget that on the one hand balances the taxpayers of Pennsylvania, while on the other hand is compassionate and caring with respect to the citizens of Pennsylvania and meets the obligations and priorities of state government. I often think of the people whose money, hard-earned money, we are spending. I think about my dad, a public school teacher, or my mom, who went back to work while she was raising a family. And I think that every time they worked hard, didn't miss a day, and they came back and took care of us, that every time they worked, they paid their taxes, their personal income tax, to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for you and I to decide how to spend in an appropriate manner. And I sometimes think about my kids. And I think about the fact, yes, my son Matt hit his first home run yesterday and I missed it. Oh well, but God bless you, Matt. Over the fence, 10-year-old. I think about Andrew, and whenever he goes out and he does an errand and a job for our neighbors or for his grandparents, and he saves his money because he wants to buy, that new mitt, something that he's told he's got to save for. Even Andrew, when he goes to that store and buys that glove, is paying a 6% tax on that product. The fact of the matter is every time a Pennsylvania citizen, if I may have order, please, I certainly showed respect for each and every speaker.
House will please come to order. Thank you.
So that 6 cents off of every dollar transaction comes to the state of Pennsylvania for you and I and our colleagues in the Senate and the governor to decide whether it's being appropriately spent or not. People work hard for their money. And we collect here some $28 billion from the citizens of Pennsylvania by taking money out of their paychecks, by taking money out of their transactions when they've saved money to go buy a good, a dryer, a car, a rug. We take that money, inheritance tax, we take it when they pass away from their families and their estates, and we have the privilege, the honor, the duty to be fiscal stewards and to remember, my goodness, it's their money, not ours. And every now and then we have to remember that there has to be some upper limit to what we can, in fact, spend in meeting our obligations. I continue to hear that it's not enough. Which tax would you like to increase from the citizens of Pennsylvania? Are you advocating a higher income tax, a higher sales tax, a higher inheritance tax? The fact of the matter is, the families of Pennsylvania live within their means. The employers who provide good jobs, family-sustaining jobs, pay taxes, and we need to be fiscal stewards of that hard-earned money and make sure that it goes where it needs to go without overburdening the citizens of this state. Now let's talk about this budget, and this is just the general fund budget. Folks, the dollar amount of state tax dollars paid for by our citizens in the 2014 budget on which we are going to vote spends $10,956 million on our public welfare programs. It covers autism intervention and services, intellectual disabilities care for intermediate care facilities, community-based programs and community waiver programs, in the amounts of $149 million, $150 million, and over $1 billion for the community waiver program. It provides county child welfare monies, over $1 billion. It provides medical assistance, outpatient, inpatient, capitation, obstetric and neonatal services, and long-term care in the amounts of $500 million, $300 million, $100 million, $4 billion, and $6 million. It also provides an MA home and community-based services to the tune of $140 million. And the medical assistance long-term care is almost $1 billion. The MA long-term managed care is almost $100 million. We provide hospital-based burn center money, critical access hospital money, trauma center money, academic medical center money, physician practice plan money, and transportation money. This is a compassionate budget, spending $11 billion of our fellow citizens' hard-earned money. And let's talk about public education. Folks, in basic education funding alone, for our public schools, K through 12, we are spending in this budget $120 million more than last year, to the tune of $526 billion with a B. And in addition, our total money spent on education, K through 12, is $10,300,000. That is significant money that we are taking from the taxpayers and investing in public education and in public welfare. We are meeting the needs of our citizens. And keep in mind, we are spending those dollars even though public school student enrollment has declined in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. In fact, in the 2009-2010 school year, the total Pennsylvania student enrollment reached the lowest level in the last 10 years. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has had over 52,000 fewer students compared to 10 years ago. And what is most notable about changes in school districts is that while districts have only now started to realign certain personnel numbers with lower student enrollment, the student to personnel ratio has remained at 12-to-1 since 2006. We, in fact, are increasing expenditures over last year's budget by about $650 million, or a 2.3% increase. It is interesting. You can govern where you actually care about the taxpayers or the folks that are footing the bill, and where you also are focused on meeting the needs and the obligations in front of us. The thing I've noticed, like the bipartisan budget that came from the Senate and the bipartisan budget we had last session, is there are legislators who recognize it's not just about grandstanding, it's about governing. It's not about hyperbole, it's about actually considering both the taxpayer and the persons receiving the benefits of those hard-earned dollars. I will take the opportunity every time to say, I want to govern responsibly. I want to meet my constitutional obligation. I want to be compassionate and caring and make sure that every child gets a great opportunity. But I want to do it while at the same time thinking of those folks who work hard every day and have money come out of their paycheck, about those employers who are providing family-sustaining jobs in our communities, and about those individuals that have saved their money and are out buying goods to keep this economy going. Please vote yes for House Bill 1437.